welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. I'm the Urban Seer. How's everyone doing this Monday? I hope you're all doing well. If you're not, then I hope that this session can bring you some comfort, can bring you some clarity that's needed. Anyone watching the replay, I go live Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays. Please do subscribe, come along, just bring your question and receive your free reading. Hey to everyone in the chat. Hey Jean. Hey Travel Lover. Hey Ivo. Thank you so much for being here. How's everyone doing this Monday? How was your weekend? I hope you I hope you're good. Anyone interested? I'm using the Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic tarot deck today. Jean, doing great. It is a federal holiday today. All right. Awesome. So day off. Any celebrations or just some free time, Jean? What I'll do first is I'll post the list. Hey Nettie, thanks for being here. Just click the link in the pinned comment to be added to the list. Magic in the air, says Ivo, yeah. Hey Mariana, nice to have you here. I'm just going to post the list. Free time, says Jean. Weekend was okay. Snow. Oh, snow, sleet. Everything is frozen. Not so nice. So let's get started. Hey Tibia. So Anne, you are first on the list. Whoa, cards have already started hopping out. So Nettie, the system has changed. It's been changed for a bit now, but if you check out the pinned comment, there is a link that you need to follow. Awesome, you found it. I can just see you've appeared on my list. I'm good, thanks, Travel Lover, this weekend. I think it felt kind of busy, productive, more than busy. Thank you, Anne. So Anne asks, general messages for me today. So what does Anne need to hear today, please, Spirit? The cards. Wow. This is like flying out for you, Anne. Flying out for today. Major Arcana, Anne. Temperance. Beautiful image. Beautiful card. I've actually been, interestingly, been focusing a lot on this card because I'm working on doing a guided meditation inspired by the card Temperance. So I've just been studying it, refreshing, you know, the knowledge and kind of getting deeper insight on it. And it's a card, it's all about balance. Now, interestingly, I am drawn to the Two Cups here as well. Tell you what resonates with this, and if this feels connected to a relationship, okay, partnership, if this is renewal coming through as well, if this resonates as that you are both, you know, each cup represents the both of you, if that makes sense. Or this could be in a broader sense because it's about balance, it's about being centered, it's about being an inner calmness and getting in touch with that. And health and happiness, to me, is more and more is about that it's actually about balance. You know, dis-ease is about being out of balance, yeah? So that's always what we're trying to return to. So you may, Anne, feel like that this is happening for you and this journey has already begun and that it's a continuation of that, a deepening of this balance. I know that you've had some profound changes of late, some inner work, you know, that has shifted you. I feel like shifted your energy. So you may feel like that you are moving much more into this sense of balance and groundedness, or Spirit is giving you a little reminder and a little nudge that this is where your focus needs to be, and this is where your energy and focus needs to be. It's all about holding that space. We always have that inner calm inside of us at all times, even if we can't. It can be harder to tap into sometimes than others, but it's always there. And there's also a patience here. So the things that you desire and the things that you want require some kind of patience as well. It's that same energy and knowing. I hope that resonated, Anne. So Jean, my love, you are next. Mariana, you are on the list, absolutely. Lola, you are on the list. And Grace, I'll update it after I'll update the list after I've read for Jean. Jean, if you want to post your question, my dear. If anyone does want a deeper reading, that is available still. As always, 3, 5 or 7 card readings. Just click the link in the pinned comment. You're very welcome, Anne. I hope that resonated for you. So Jean asks, what is the energy between me and JD? His energy, my energy, are we going to reconnect? Oh, look, the cards are popping. Apprentice of Swords. Communication, needing connecting to your truth, maybe some difficult conversations to be had, Jean. I think in order to move this energy forward. How was it left? Like, are you in a position where you could reach out? I just feel like that's what this creature is doing. It kind of feels small, like the sword is too heavy. Can we see that? Like this ant, is it an ant? Something like that, an insect. And it's got this big heavy sword. It's almost like that this communication weighs heavy on you, like the silence that maybe you're in now if you're in no contact. And there's something about this communication, this conversation that needs to happen, I think, to move you closer or gain some kind of closure, Jean. So this could be his energy, okay, but it feels like the energy that weighs between you. Like there's a connection, a communication, a conversation that needs to happen. Both of you may feel that you are almost shying away from this conversation. It feels too difficult to have. But when you ask, you obviously would need more cards to kind of, there's a few questions here, Jean, of like, what is the energy between you and his energy, your energy, and are you going to reconnect? It's probably not going to be able to cover it in one card. But both of you, the energy between you, the main message that I feel is that there's this conversation that weighs heavy in the air that needs to happen, that both of you are shying away from for some reason. So I don't know if even for you, I know you say that you're hoping that he reaches out. Would it bring you some more freedom or to be able to move this connection forward, either to closure or reconnection? Would it be possible? Would it feel right for you to grasp the nettle and reach out? Obviously, tell what resonates, if it feels the right direction to go in or not. But I feel like that this is coming from both sides, and we arrive, yes, at somewhat an impasse because of this. I hope that resonates, Jean. I'll update the list now, guys. You can reach out if you run into him. Okay. No problem, Jean. Travel lover, my dear, if you are still here, please post your question. Hey, Nat Nat. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Lola. Whilst everyone is here as well, I just wanted to say that I've obviously doing things. I've updated all the live sessions throughout the week. So if you do want to guarantee your reading and get on the list, you can now. It's just the same process. There's a link in all of the chats that you can click on and get on the list. So we have obviously today's, but we have Wednesday, which is the Love Oracle readings that I've introduced. So that's up, and then also Friday's live tarot session. So if you want to book your place, if it's easier to make sure that you're on the list, then you can book in advance now. I'm just going to see how that system works. It may be easier for everyone, and then you know that you're on the list. Yeah, so if you want to do that, all the week's readings are up. And like I say, I am doing the introducing the I did the Love Oracle reading during the week of love. I'm now going to trial that as a weekly regular session. So let me know what you guys think of both those things. Travel lover, thank you for your question. What is Steve thinking about us? Interesting. Let's see what he thinks about this connection. Spirit, what does Steve think and feel about this connection? Elder of Cups. This is very similar, travel lover, to the King of Cups when we see this. So there are still some big feelings around, I would say. Some big emotions still around this. Some love here. Some, yeah, deep emotions still in this connection for them, travel lover. Now, when we see the Elder of Cups, can you see here's the two of Cups within this picture, which is like, I know that you've often touched on that kind of soulmate connection. Whenever I see two cups in, an image, that's always what it speaks to me, really, that there's that kind of connection. There is a mirroring here of, say, your deep feelings that are felt too by him. But there's something, obviously, we would have to look at something else to see, and I will have touched on kind of what is blocking that, and there being some kind of lack of courage, and that he's also used to relationships kind of being toxic. Yeah, there been some baggage there been some history. Now, the Elder of Cups as well is this lesson about needing to learn how to process these emotions. So when we get big feelings, big emotions, the Elder of Cups, when they are in their power, is able to process these feelings. Yeah, feel the feelings. It's not about suppressing them. I always say this when this card comes through. It's not about suppressing the emotions, but it's allowing them to flow through you like a river. Yeah, when we get hit with, it can be big sadness, big love, big, whatever it is, big emotions. Okay. So there is something here which tells me about that he's not able to process the feelings. So maybe it did scare him. It did shy away from this because he's struggling to process some of these big emotions that this connection brings up from what we've seen in the past for him. I believe that to be true, that he's in the shadow side of the Elder of Cups, which is really being overwhelmed in many ways by the feelings. What it just clarifies for me, what it clarifies for me, travel lover, is that there are still big emotions that hang in the air when Steve, you know, what the question being, what is Steve thinking about us? There is still a lot of big feelings here. He's and struggling to process them is what I feel, travel lover. So I hope that resonated. Thank you, Jean, for your booking. I see that there. That you've booked your 5-card reading. Let me just log into PayPal and I can check out your question over there. Thank you, Jean, for booking Wednesday and Friday. That's awesome. If everyone just give me a minute whilst I get logged in. So for anyone who is new here, obviously if you book a reading, this includes a queue jump and takes priority, and then I'll return back to the free list, yeah? Okay, I'm just having a look at your questions here. Thanks for the detailed question there, Anne. I'm just going to pull the cards as I use each of the questions as reference, yeah? Did I say Jean is booked? I meant Anne. Sorry if I was caused any confusion there. So this is for Anne. Okay, so the first placement is looking at what Spirit says, what the cards say about your decision. Ooh, Major Arcana Judgment. Confirming what a difficult decision it was, Anne, that you had to make there. Judgment is about it's often all about, you know, making those tough decisions, kind of having to do the right thing, okay? Now I'm drawn to this transformational butterfly as well, and that you are that transformation which we've touched on. I think it was the death card that came through for you, Anne, before. You know, this transformation again that keeps coming through for you. We've got a coffin here, which interestingly, so in this deck, it's like that same kind of death energy, that the ending of something, certainly how it was, yeah, and there being some kind of new beginning on the horizon, this deep change. Now there's some sadness here that I see in this tiger, is it that we see a cheetah, a tiger energy here? It looks like anyway, this big cat, yeah. And there's some grief, there's some sadness here about this decision, but it's about it being confirmation, I feel like, that it was the right thing to do at this time. Judgment's also about karmic lessons, and there being karmic energy around this, karmic history, karmic ties, and about it coming back around in a way, like it being rewarded. So maybe now you don't feel the rewards, you maybe just feel some sadness about the situation or some grief, but the reward will come back round, because judgment, it's kind of like if you don't do the work, or you know what, spirit, or you kind of, you know, when the right decision is in front of you and but you can't do it, you kind of let yourself down or let someone down. That's also about that karma coming back round and biting you. But in turn, it's like if you're able to step up and make the difficult choice and do the right thing, then that in turn comes back round and doesn't bite you, but you know, it rewards you. There's some goodness to come from that. So you might not feel this now, but yeah, difficult choices, difficult decisions, but judgment is ultimately, it's about like doing the right thing. Major arcana as well, so spirit acknowledging what it took to do that as well, and that it will have a knock-on effect of big change. So this is how, with second placement, how is Reneel feeling about this? Okay, Elder of Swords. Oof, painful, yeah. Swords is a painful suit, without a doubt. It's a tough suit when we see swords, okay, because it's about the heaviness of that truth of the sword, you know, being cut, the cut off of contact, the feeling that the pain of the sword as it hits, yeah, the cut, and that it's brings there's a brutality to the sword suit and a pain, but it's a much like being committed to your own truth and endings and this change that you brought, how difficult that was, but when it's necessary, yeah, it's like a surgeon who cuts off the limb, because the limb is gonna kill the person if it, you know, with an infection, if it's not cut off. This is a bit of a gruesome analogy, sorry, so I find myself saying this, but it's, yeah, it's like a limb that needs to be cut off, and the pain of that, but how, you know, it can be necessary, or the person, the patient, it's going to kill them ultimately, yeah. So again, going back to those sort of hard decisions, look deep in thought. This is so much his energy. This is, you know, there he is, you know, head in hands in a way, deep in thought. Okay, so still maybe thinking as well about some resistance to this. I feel like maybe trying to find, trying to come to terms with it, trying to level himself with it, but feeling the sharp end of the sword. I'm trying to think just if there's anything else, tapping into anything else of this. Yeah, I just keep with the Elder of Swords. It's like, this is much like the King of Swords. So it's someone who maybe both of you kind of intellectually know this is the right thing, maybe, or the next step that had to happen in this journey. We don't know the future yet, but at this point it was like that this had to happen. But it doesn't make it any less painful, basically, is what I feel. It doesn't mean that it wounds us any less. So yeah, sad, deep in thought. We can see that clear image. I think you can there too. You know, there's some there feeling that too. This is kind of more like your energy here. Sadness on both sides. Sadness on both sides for sure. Let's go to the next placement. Okay, unspoken emotions and inner conflicts. We've touched on that. You know, we do see some the pain, I would say, and trying to rationalize it, maybe trying to figure out a strategy almost as well to maybe have a reason to reconnect, yeah, to resist the fighting against this situation, trying to work out a plan. I do see when we're looking at inner conflicts, but let's go deeper on this. Apprentice of Wands. So this is, yeah, this is connected to Wands is about action. Now it's interesting always in this deck because Wands, yeah, is about fire and it's about feelings more. So we have here almost like the head side of things, maybe feeling like, you know, okay, this is the right thing, but we see the conflict is flies in the face, is what we feel. So Wands is about our heart's desires, it's about passions. So it's wanting to take action, and this is some conflict, wanting to take action to fight against what's happened. Okay, so imagine to reach out, to make contact. Now it is a snail, interesting, so that's notoriously slow moving. So that can just touch on about how this action is unfolding slowly, but nonetheless there's all these oranges, there's this gold, you know, it's fire. With it being an apprentice as well, apprentice is when you're, I feel a lot of is like trying to figure something out, trying to figure out a plan, because apprentice is about when you're in this assessment mode. So a situation has happened and you're like dealing, you know, when you're in that space when it's like you're just dealing with the information still, so you're still in a processing energy and trying to figure out what to do next. So this is the conflict. There is some resistance to what's happened and they're trying to find a way out of it. They're trying to find a reason or a way to connect or to justify connection or to backtrack on this. It's moving quite slowly though. I don't know why that is, but maybe you know why that is. That's just what the cards have brought through. But it's also, like I say, the main energy of it is kind of feeling a bit lost and feeling still trying to scramble together a plan and process actually what's happened. Next placement. Karmic lessons or soul connections that exist between you, and also touching on finding closure. Oh, there's this high level of commitment, which is the Four of Wands. Tradition in another life, in another world. The Four of, you know, this card is about marriage. So maybe this is something that went on as well if you connect with past life connections, Anne, with if you may have been married in a past life, or been together, been in a deep connection together in a past life. This can often happen when you know, if you can meet someone, and signs of this is when maybe when you first connected that this person feels very familiar. Yeah, it's almost like when you see their face that you recognize them, you have that sense that you have seen them before, known them before. And often there is this very relaxed feeling around this person, that you feel very comfortable with them. So these are signs that past life connections have been there before. For me, it's patterns that I've seen in people, in myself and in other people's lives. It's when you feel this, doesn't mean that everything's hunky-dory between you, but there's always this comfort and a sort of relaxed feeling between you. So karmic lessons, soul connections, there is this, it just kind of says that there's this strong bond between you. With regards to finding closure with this, it's maybe circumstantial that why this can't progress to be this, as painful as that is. And that in another life and in another world, it's almost about honouring the bond, if that's possible, and knowing that maybe this could have been, you know, there is, as painful as that is, but there is this dream house, you know, these romantic, surrounded by blooming romantic roses, marriage, commitment, you know, it's kind of like a picture perfect home, isn't it, here? Knowing that that's what all this is about, yeah, and that in another life and in circumstances were different, then this is what would have been. And maybe in the past as well, that this is what you were, so it feels kind of natural for that this would happen again, yeah, but for reasons circumstantial, it can't. And what steps can you, I think it's cut this off. What steps can you take? And is this for the future, or just tell me what, clarify this. It's just said what steps that can you take. Nine of Swords, this is interesting energy. This is, look at that tiger yawning. Look, it's like you've come back through here. Nine of Swords, so inherently is about actually your anxiety, worst case scenarios not coming true. So I think some of your fears, whatever it is that this has opened up for you, and in, you know, dark night of the soul, when what keeps us up at night, those thoughts, whatever that is, what is your worst case scenario that you may be going to, this is, so Spirit acknowledges the fear and the anxiety and the worry that this whole situation is kind of brought, but something about where you're at now, what is that, you personally will know what that worry is, that fear, that anxiety, what is this worst case scenario maybe that you keep going to. And this message is with Nine of Swords is that this will be unfounded. So even though it's tricky, but it is saying that actually that this isn't going to happen. That place that you keep going to, you personally will know what that is, because we've got the water. This looks like water to me, but also can look like the night sky. So kind of taking that deep dive emotionally. But it's also that stuff that keeps you up at night, whatever that is. This is ultimately, this is a card of comfort. I feel like this tiger is kind of yawning and relaxing in a way that spirit saying that if you can kind of release that, or at least work on trying to look at that more and see that whatever that worst case scenario is, and that is not coming, that's not what's down the road for you. So I hope that resonated, hope that brought you some insight. We looked at Renil's energy. I thought that came through really strong. Struggling, conflict there for sure. Difficult time, definitely. I'd be interested to see how this develops for you, Anne. But thank you for your booking. Thank you, Jean, for your booking. I'm going to have to close the list now, I think, just so that I can get to everyone who's on the free list. Just bear with me. And then I will post the list so everyone knows where we're at. Oh, I've spelled that wrong. You're welcome, Anne. I hope that helped. Hope it resonated. Maybe worth watching back, Anne, as well. I think you can get more from it sometimes as well if you can go through it in your own time. Thanks, Jean. I'll head over to PayPal again in 1 second. Just post this list so everyone knows where they're at. Sorry for the arm. It was an in-depth reading, wasn't it? Thanks for your patience, everyone. So, you do, Jean, do you? Yeah, I probably see how you would get more out of it sometimes watching it in your own time. Okay, 3-card reading for Jean. Jean asks, general reading, what changes do I not see coming? Interesting. Any particular area, Jean, or just like you say, I know it's general, so I'll take that. We can keep it open-ended, yeah, see what comes through. Some kind of conflict going on, Jean. Whoa, and then we end with Major Arcana. Well, some exciting changes I see, Jean. So this conflict, we start off, don't worry, it gets better, but we start off with this 5 of Wands, okay? Tell you what resonates with this, okay? There is some kind of conflict. It can be happening now, Jean, or like say it could be further down the road, but it's in relation to this conflict, okay? Can be happening now, could be come down the road in the near future. 5 of Wands is like arguments, conflict. Can be internal, or it can actually manifest with external people. Say if this is happening in the workplace, that we are having disagreements, we are rubbing each other up the wrong way, you know, all these represented here in these dogs by this tug of war feeling, okay? Or it can be internal, this, that there is, it's like not being able to get on the same page, like with yourself, if that makes sense, even because you're having a tug of war inside of you about what to do. Or it can, like I say, be with actually people in the 3D and in relationships. Now, with the 5 of Wands, it will blow over, it will pass. But maybe this tug of war, what I feel like it is pushing you in a certain direction. Again, I don't know about with work. Well, you know, where does the internal conflict lie? Is this, I know you have in the past looked for change in work, or if it's about this relationship situation, internal conflict makes sense. Now, you are making movement, I think, through this. it's almost like this wrestling with yourself is not necessarily a bad thing, because there needs to be, it's kicking up the dust. Often when we see wands, wands are the change makers, okay, Jean? So I do feel like that there is a change, that something needs to give in some area of your life. And this Five of Wands is about kicking up that dust, kicking up that change. There is a change that needs to happen, and that's why you're having these internal conflicts. So don't try and bury them. I would say allow them, you know, it's kind of wrestle with this. What is your, I feel like your inner voice, that quiet inner voice is asking you to listen, is complaining in some way, and maybe you're trying to silence that noise because you think, oh, this is not, you know, I just want to be okay, just want to get on with things. But it's like this nagging voice that says, no, I'm dissatisfied in some way. Because then, though, we leads on to this victory. So there, with this Six of Swords, where we shift into calmer waters. That's what the Six of Swords is. So the Five of Wands kicks up the change. Then if we can embrace this change, Jean, and listen to that voice, take action in some way, then the path ahead becomes clearer. The path ahead becomes smoother with the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is about leaving a tumultuous time behind and moving into some calmer waters. It's also about leaving certain ideas and certain thoughts that we have about ourselves or about a situation that no longer serve us, that we've outgrown. We need to leave that behind in the past. There's an eclipse happening here, which signifies to me that kind of crossover, that changing of energy. But we need to embrace this dissatisfaction and take action on that. It's like we can't ignore that anymore. And then this will bring us a shift that will bring us more inner peace and happiness. But if we don't embrace that, if we don't make the changes, then we won't be able to make these shifts. And then this kind of energy leads to a big change and a transformation with a major arcana, the Death card, which is about the ending. It's almost like the Six of Swords, but turned up to volume 10. Yeah, because its Death card is about leaving old ways behind, old ways of life, old thought patterns, our old self in many ways. With the Death card, it's a big transformation. Okay, whenever we see this card, it doesn't mess around. Yeah, it signifies big change. And then new beginnings. So there is a death of the old and the start of the new beginning, represented here by this bird that is able to take flight. And there is that frustration, I feel like, has gone. You can leave that. It's almost like you're in a box that is too small for you, something like that. And if you can embrace this, Jean, and if you can listen to where this struggle is taking you, then this can unfold. And this is the need for change with this Death card, and this is the change happening. So it's a big shift. Can just be an internal journey, you know, but often when I see the Death card, I think there's such big change that happens internally that it manifests in the 3D. Yeah, it can't help but spill out and change our lives, and the landscape looks different. You're welcome, Jean. Okay, back to the free readings now, the list. I have Sanice next. if you are still here, my dear. I have Sinise, Janavi and Tia. Thank you, Tia. Because I called for Sinise, I will just read for her first, and then Tia, I will go to PayPal if that's all right. Sinise asks, how do they see me? Person, Bobby, friend or more? Okay, let's have a look, Sinise. Thanks, Tia. Thanks, Tia. Okay, Sinise, let's have a look. Spirit, how does Bobby see Sinise? Friend or more? Always exciting to see this. Ooh. Ooh. Is it going to tell me? Is it going to tell me? It's too soon to tell, maybe, Sinise. With this Three of Cups, okay, is... Look, it's a very happy card, this. It's a very uplifting, light-hearted kind of energy. So I very much think that... How long have you known this person? Has this been going on some time? It's a very social card. It really is about, you know, hanging out and enjoying each other's company, and it almost having like a celebration energy around it whenever I see this card. But it's about having fun, and it's like it may be too soon for it to be, like I said, I don't know how long this connection is, but it's like these feelings have not settled yet. They haven't taken root either way. It doesn't run deep yet. The Three of Cups is this: I'm enjoying your company, I'm getting to know you, this is good fun. But it still feels quite open-ended. It's very, just such a social card, this. We do have the Oracle of Swords came through. Swords is about community. Again, look how happy this card is. It's very bright, particularly for swords, which are connected to sort of traditionally more tricky issues, yeah? But nonetheless, the Oracle of Swords is about communication, and it's about speaking your truth. So I think that this person, or it will come out between you, the truth, the communication, in time, in the right time. Message being, Sinise, at the minute, I feel like you just need to continue to enjoy each other's company. Allow this to develop more, allow this to grow, much like these flowers here. They look like flowers to me. And then we have butterfly, which is the change, which is the transformation happening when the truth will come through. Now, it does look to be happy and uplifting, so I don't see, if you're wanting to deepen this connection with this person, Sinise, this does actually look promising. So I would say probably this communication and news would be positive by nature, yeah? I hope that resonated for you, Sinise. Okay, I'm just going to head over to PayPal. So, travel lover, I just want to check in. What have you booked there? Have you, because we have the 3, 5 or 7 card readings. You're welcome, Denise. I hope that resonated. Alright, so free card reading for, obviously there's Tia Beer, 3-card reading Tia, and then Travel Lover, 3-card reading as well. Alright, awesome. Oh, Tia, I don't know if your question has not come through. Are you happy to share it here in the group? Oh, here we go. Tia's, sorry, you've posted your question here. What's next in love for me? No word from Leo, not feeling the Aries, but I did meet an interest in Gemini. Wow. You briefly saw the Leo last week. It was divine timing, but we didn't speak. What a confusing time, Tia, hey? The dust will settle. I feel like it will become clear. Not feeling the Aries though, yeah? Let's have a look. Thank you, Travel Lover. Yeah, Tia, I think you should start writing it now. I feel like it'll help. And then you can finish the story how you want it to end before it's happened. Oh, look at this, the Hanged one. This is you. So this is the Hanged Man. This is like feelings kind of stuck, trapped. There isn't really, interestingly, there's no, I think we had this view before. It's all about perspective and less about action. Whenever I see this card, okay, it's tricky. It's about having to just hold your nerve. You know, take this, I have this like physical where it's like take a deep breath and it's like you just kind of have to wait this out more. There isn't, don't do any drastic action. I don't know if you feel this frustration and this need to maybe, you know, I don't know, like cut someone off or, you know, make some kind of drastic shift somehow to, because you want movement, because you want change, because there's some frustration and discomfort about where you are now. What's the shift has to happen outside, like out of your hands in a way, externally, but the shift that you can make is internal, is the Hanged Man is all about seeing, you see all these eyes here, seeing things differently, gaining a different perspective. There's still some information or a perspective shift that you need to have, I think. We don't know what that is yet, that will change things for you. You'll begin to view maybe someone differently, or the situation differently. There's going to be a perspective shift that is happening. This is confirmation to stay still, exactly that. And like when I was shuffling the cards, what came through, which I didn't feel like was me, it was channeled, where it said the dust needs to settle. That's what I said, and that's what I heard. The dust needs to settle. Let's have a look what, you know, though. Let's dig deeper after the dust has settled. Do we get a peek behind the curtain of the future, Spirit? What's coming next? Ah, love is coming next. The Apprentice of Cups. Very similar to the Knight of Cups, Tia. When we see this apprentice, this is connection. This is a love offering. It has a fragility to it, okay, because it's represented here by a young calf. So it's a deeper connection. It's not that it is a deeper connection, but it's a connection that needs to be nurtured. It's nubile, is that the right word? I never use that word, but I don't know if that's the right word. It has a fragility to it, so it will need to be nurtured. It will need to be handled with care. Oh, and then we have the Two of Cups. Look at this. Then we have soulmate. Two of Cups, soulmate, two roses, part of the same heart, the yin, the yang. Wow. So we don't know the full picture, okay? We can't rush this, Tia. Okay, we have the Hanged One. This is a bit uncomfy or very uncomfy, but we are surrendered. Can you see these hands? We are surrendered in some way to what is. We can't rush this. We can't, like you said, stand still. Let the dust settle. Things need to fall out what needs to fall, you know, what do you call it? Shake it out, okay? It's like this situation needs to be shook out by the universe, not by you. But what will emerge after this Hanged One? Beautiful combination of a real connection to you that is on its way to you. Could not be clearer, could not be stronger. With the Apprentice of Cups, this is the love offering. Handle with care. That's also for you, okay? Handle your heart with care. This is someone who maybe will be handling your heart with care as well. And then we move into the Two of Cups energy, which is the deepening of the connection, and which is a soulmate connection, the yin to your yang. So I think that's a really positive reading for you, Tia. I hope that connected with you. Just as love is on its way. Cups is water energy, but I don't really feel like this is like a water sign, or unless they've got that, obviously they could have that prominent in the chart, but really I'm just seeing that Cups as love connection, as love energy. So Janavi, you didn't miss your turn. We've just had a lot of book readings. So Travel Lover has a booked reading now, and then you will be next on the list, Janavi, after Travel Lover. Lama Dali, unfortunately I have had to close the list for today, but I will be back for another live session on Wednesday. You can actually book for that now if you want to. Just head over to that that post, that live session, and you can reserve your spot. Tia says, thank God, because I'm ready. Yes. Right. Travel Lover, if you want to post your question for your free card reading, my love. Hoping that you're still here, Travel Lover. I think you will be. and then I'll do a list update. Travel lover, are you here for your 3-card reading? If not, I think you'll be back. I just want to keep things moving, so Janavi, do you want to go ahead and ask your question? Thanks, Janavi. Right, I'm going to read for Janavi whilst I will just carry on with the pre-readings, and obviously when Travel Lover comes back in, I'll read for her. Janavi asks, no contact with Akshay. Oh, still 3 weeks. What is the current energy? Oh, jumps out straight away, Janavi. Oh, the Sun, Major Arcana. This to me is the promise, is what I see of actually of communication coming back in. It's a unicorn, okay? A unicorn kind of energy. But the Sun is happiness, isn't it? It's the happiest card in the deck. It's that rush of happiness as well. You know, that rush of endorphins is what I feel, Janavi. This feels like a promise of getting what you want, in a way, if that's communication coming back through, and that feeling that it will bring. Tell me more about this Sun. Just need a bit more confirmation. And then we have Champion of Swords. Swords being communication. This is a peacock, which is I feel like this is your energy, Janavi, this Champion of Swords energy. I know that the peacock with the colours is generally male. This is, you see, the Champion of Swords energy is like, even though this is like a tough situation, Champion of Swords is like that need, that what I feel like's come through is like to hold your nerve with this situation. And that kind of holding strong, an inner strength here. And almost like not being thrown off by this, Janavi. I hope this resonates for you. Like the Champion of Swords is quite a tough character. It hasn't given us much insight into what's going on with for Akshay or that side of things. I feel like it's just telling us the energy that you need to bring to this. Champion of Swords is like the Queen of Swords energy, in a traditional deck. And the Queen of Swords is tough, yeah, strict with you know, mental discipline and being empowered, kind of almost knowing that this communication will come back in, and knowing about that. Like, if you tap into your intuition, what does your intuition tell you on that? It's a bit like coming from a head energy as well, rather than a heart, and that's where you're having to reside in that head energy, Janavi, at the moment, in order to deal with this, in order to manage this. It's about, in a way as well, this sounds quite negative, but I don't mean it to in a negative way, but like shifting out of the heart space. Sometimes we have to lift ourselves out of the feelings and be more in our head and strategic, and just have that mental discipline in order to keep on top of our emotions, our anxieties, our fears. And then the sun is the promise of that, what we desire, what we want, what will bring us joy, what will bring us happiness, coming in and coming through. So I feel like Spirit has kind of gone straight to sort of a different aspect of the question. Like, we saw the current energy hasn't really brought through Akshay. Yeah, manifestation rules, absolutely. And this is the, look how, I love how this, it looks like a slice of lemon in the sky. It's so bright, it's so glowing. It almost doesn't matter why, it's just that this is the outcome. So yeah, we forget about the why and we look to what energy we need to bring, you need to bring, Janavi, and then the promise of this, the sun outcome. So I hope that helped. I hope that resonated. It kind of, Spirit did intervene with that message in some ways. Hey travel lover, yeah, so I have received your PayPal, absolutely. I did actually call you before, Janavi, but you weren't here, so I just wanted to wait until you were back. You're welcome, Janavi. So just give me some clarity of the 3-card reading, travel lover, now. So you say it's about a job. Just give me a bit more info about that. Hey Lola. Had a lot of booked readings today, so obviously that naturally just slows things down with regards to the free list, guys, so thanks for your patience. But obviously booked readings take priority. So travel lover, if you can just tell me a bit more about this, about jobs. 3-card read is about jobs. I wonder if you put it on the PayPal. Oh, here we go. No problem. Can you just type it out again, travel lover? That would be great. I'm just checking PayPal. I don't know if you've put the details over there. Oh, here we go. I've got it now. Sorry. I can't speak. I've lost thought. Traveller, I've got your question here on PayPal. Bear with me while I read it. So we're looking at the job, yeah, for the 3 card, because we've already looked at Steve. Yeah, is that right, Travel Lover? Just so I can see you've got, I don't do yes, no questions as well, just with regards to looking at the question. I don't do yes, no questions. Okay, so this is Travel Lover. I'm just going to go off what was being written in PayPal and see what comes through. So we've got Amex, job number 1. Let's see the energy surrounding that. And job number 2. Then this future energy. Let's see what we've got. Oh, nice, Nat, getting your nails done. What shade, what colour, Nat? Travel Lover, for job number 1, the energy surrounding that. Ooh, the High Priestess, Major Arcana. Trust the need to trust our intuition. Second job, 7 of Swords. So the energy Traveller is surrounding the job number 1, which you mentioned in PayPal. We have a major arcana, okay, so this feels where the energy is more with this one. If we're going to do, I like to say I don't do yes no questions, but there's bigger energy surrounding this one, okay. The High Priestess is about needing to trust your instincts and your intuition with regards to this and to navigate this situation. So I don't know where you are at in the process, you know, if we've interviewed, if we've just applied, you know, where we're at, etc. This will also help you in this process, Travel Lover, with regards to, it's kind of, there's something, tell you what resonates with this, about needing to really tap into what's right for you on a deeper level. So maybe about looking just beyond what maybe looks like the right job or what you should do. And this is more about what, when we see the High Priestess, it's really about aligning with what is right for us and our higher self. The energy surrounding the second, now this is quite interesting, the 7 of Swords. This is a much more, traditionally the 7 of Swords is like a more defensive energy, and I do feel like the Fox has come through with this. Has the energy doesn't feel so good around this one, okay. It feels like it has, when we see a fox as well, that can be a bit like trickster energy. There's something that could be hidden from you here as well, that maybe it's not being clear. It's putting you in defensive energy where you're sort of having to, can you see how there is it almost looks like broken swords, but 7 of Swords can be about being misled, you know, untruths, like I say, trickster energy. So this could be something about this energy around this job, traveler, about the company or someone on that side who's part of that company, who's part of this process, is not being straight with you or with other candidates about the whole situation. Okay, so I would maybe be a bit wary of this. Certainly, again, bringing this energy even can cross over to this about trusting your instincts on the situation. If something feels off, which something, this is what Seven of Swords energy comes through to say, that something could be off with this second one. It might be that they're not giving you the full picture of what your duties would be in this job, you know, that kind of energy about certain responsibilities, and maybe it's basically trying to get more out of you than what they say. Now in the future energy, we have the Three of Swords. This is a card of healing. Maybe you are still going through some kind of healing journey, travel lover, in regards to this. This still feels like that there's a bit need more for healing. And what I would say with that is about, it's okay to, obviously I know there's financial stress and things like that, but about trying to make the right decision about, you know, not jumping out of the fire into the, out of the frying pan and into the fire. Is that the saying with the Three of Swords? As in, maybe if you've had difficulties in the past with regards to how you've been treated or work situations being difficult, and it's okay to wait for, or be patient as much as finances allow, obviously, to wait for the right opportunity that's not going to be toxic for you. Okay, as much as we can do that, as much as we can. And basically this means, again, the High Priestess energy coming back in, about listening to our instincts throughout the process. And you know, even when you read, like for those people who've obviously had, all of us have been that reading job descriptions, and there can even be red flags right from the get-go about, you know, companies sort of not being clear about what they expect from you, or expecting too much, and, you know, financially not reward compensating you, all that kind of stuff, kind of. But anyway, energy feels more favorable to the first position. Second job, there seems to be some kind of trickster, iffy energy around this. I would proceed with caution. And then the future energy, I think, is about allowing yourself as much as finances allow. Obviously, I'd understand if things are difficult, that there's only so much, you know, if we need to get a job, we need to get a job. That's just facts, okay? But as much as you can, align with energies that, so we're not just putting ourselves from one toxic situation into another. I hope that resonated, travel lover, for you. Okay. Okay, so Tivia, if you're here for your one card, and then we have Mariana and Nettie. I don't know who's here still. But I'll close all readings now, so as in no more booked readings, or just so that I can concentrate fully now on the everyone who's on the list. So no more booked readings, and obviously the list is closed. Hey Mariana, do you want to go ahead and post your question? I think TB might have left now. I think she did say she didn't want her free reading, but she may correct me if I'm wrong. But Mariana, please go ahead and post your question. Will Christian's lies come out soon? Do you want to tell me a bit more about the situation, Mariana? Because I'm an energy reader. So I don't do yes/no questions. I look at the energy regarding you and a person, you and a situation. So is this like a love connection that's in no contact? If you want to just give me a bit more context, it basically, so I'm not a psychic medium. Like I say, I channel messages from spirit through the cards, and look at the energy between you and that person, you and a situation. So will Christian's lies come out soon? So you're divorced. I'll see what comes through. Like I said, I don't do yes, no, but I can see what energy is surrounding. Surrounding Christian, I guess. Oh, there we go. The Empress. This is such like a positive card, yeah. This is spirit coming through to, I'll ask another card to see if it will bring anything else through with regards to specifically that kind of Christian's lies, but really I feel like spirit has come through to remind you, Mariana, that you are the Empress, this Empress energy. And maybe like, are we, you know, don't water the weeds, water the flowers. Is it imperative that this Christian's lies come out, or do we need to be focusing our energy on remembering that you're this Empress, this powerful woman with a lot going on inside, a lot to offer, nurturing, you know, our own garden, nurturing ourselves. Two otters here, which is interesting. It's almost like about, I don't know if you're in a love connection or if you're looking for a new love connection, but you know how otters support each other. It's focusing on the relationships that kind of bring you, so you're needing it for closure, okay? So that's why you're wanting these lies to come out. Spirit is telling you at the moment, I feel like as well, even to move towards that closure, about you do need to focus your energy on yourself and remembering who you are and building yourself up more. Maybe, I don't know how long it's been since the divorce. If you're ready for new connections, focusing on the relationships anyway that bring you, that support you, that lift you up. And I feel like with this, with, you know, with Christian's energy, we have this Champion of Wands. This has that very in out energy, that if there's irresponsible energy about this person, an immaturity, if that's what brought this kind of broke this relationship down as well. Like you say, if there are lies, it's like not someone who's not accountable for their actions. This person doesn't look to be changing anytime soon. This is still their energy that they are bringing. And I almost feel like, you know, if this did come out, Mariana, even if the lies did come out, this wouldn't change him. he would just keep moving. You know how like a horse here that is kind of, I get the image almost like a fast moving horse. It's like someone who just keeps moving, yeah. They're still in this nature of maybe lying, of not being honest with themselves, not being honest with other people, not being able to, I don't see change in them from the energy of what you said about who they are, how they've been, okay? This is still who they are. So I think that even if the lies came out, it's not gonna make them stop and check themselves and bring change. This is who they are. So anyone who knows, you know, that he is, say if you say he's a narcissist, or that he's someone who lies, not to be trusted, has in-out energy, it's almost like anyone who is gonna know that already knows that. So these lies coming out, I don't feel like it hinges on this. I can see how it can be, it would be satisfying for this to be outed, but ultimately I don't really see that it would change the landscape. And anyone who, if he's toxic, anyone who has any kind of understanding about that, like already knows this. So if lies would come out, that wouldn't really change it, you know, for those, the people that know already know. So I hope that resonates. It's like you need to kind of, maybe we're hooking too much on this, like the lies need to come out. I don't know how much change that would actually make for you, Mariana. The change is about this Empress energy, growing your own garden, and this is still who he is. And anyone who kind of crosses paths with that and has any emotional intelligence or understanding will know that about him anyway. And if they choose to be in his life, then, you know, be it kind of at their own peril, that they'll get trampled by this horse ultimately. Okay, Nettie, my love, if you are here, Lola, if you are still here, and M Grace. You're very welcome, Ariana. Keep us posted with this situation. So, Nettie, Lola, M Grace. Hey Lola, thanks Nat Nat. Go ahead Lola and post your question. Thank you Nat Nat. So now just tell me maybe who is here. Sometimes when we get to nearing the end of the session, that lots of people have left. Lola, go ahead and post your question. This is who is still, okay, so anyone who is still here on this list, please post. So Lola, please, current feelings. Joey Cameron for Dami Lola. No contact. Current energies. Let's have a look, Lola. Thanks, Lighthouse Dreamer. Oh, we have the Ace of Wands. mean, the Ace of Wands is about, you know, wanting some kind of fresh start, really. Wanting some kind of new beginning. Wands is about action. It's about ruled by the element of fire. Striking out, you know, there seems to be a kind of egg as well in the center there of a nest, isn't there? In this is the wand, the flame, but inside of that is an egg, so it's like waiting for that egg to kind of hatch. So what's the block? So they want a new beginning. We have Wands, which is action. Okay. So why are we in no contact? Oof, the Devil, Major Arcana. Are they in is there a third party situation here, Lola? Is there, you know, because the Devil is about, well, can be few things, okay? Toxic connections, which I don't feel like this is, because of this Ace of Wands, that doesn't feel like between you and Joey, okay? Or it's toxic habits, toxic patterns that they're repeating. It can be about it. I'm just throwing this out there. It can be about addiction, or it can be just behaviors that aren't good. So do they play this in-out game with you, Lola, as well? Just remind me about, you know, is this no contact? Is this something new, or is this happened before in the past? Then they reach out, then they go to no contact. Then, you know, is that pattern? There's some negative pattern that they are circling. Can you see this? These goats here, the devil hooves, you know, going round and round this circle. We need to get these scissors. We need to break this. We need to, there's a third party X situation. Okay, so that's what's going, that's the block. They do want a fresh start. They do want to take action. And maybe that fresh start is with you, Lola, okay? There's still feelings here, their heart's desires, the fire, the sort of desire to break away and strike out. There is this desire. What we asked, what is the block though? The devil energy, the third party X situation. So they're embroiled, they're in some, you know, toxic connection with them. So that's frustrating for you, for sure. Because you can't control this, okay? You can't make them break free from this. They have to work that out themselves. But I suppose take comfort in the fact, in knowing that there is a desire here to, when in regards to you, about, I almost feel like when they think of a fresh start or breaking free of this, they do, that does lie with you, Lola. That energy does lie with you. But this is the block, for sure. So that's hard. It's hard to deal with. Take comfort in the fact. I hope it does offer you comfort that there is good energy in essence between you two, if that makes sense. So who do we have next? So who is here? Arpita. So we have Arpita, Nat Nat, and then Lighthouse Dreamer. So Arpita, do you want to post your question, please? And then, so I'm just going in order of the list. If anyone else is here, please give us a shout. I'm glad that brought some clarity for you, Lola. Thank you for letting me know. You're welcome. So we have Arpita, if you're still here. I don't know if you are, please post your question. Lola, you've already posted your question. I meant to say Nat Nat. Arpita, post your question. Have a great day, Lola. whoever is remaining, just go ahead and post your question. And I will obviously read for everyone who is left. Sorry, Nat, I think you've already posted your question. Are Peter asks, any messages for upcoming next 2 weeks? I'm going to take that. Is there anything in education, Peter, that you're going through? There's some kind of to do with education, work. Can you see how this is obviously something stacked up, binded, like done, finished, completed? Eight of Cups, though, is about, in its essence, is though about that feeling, this nagging feeling of walking away from something that is no longer emotionally fulfilling. Oh, you just completed your study, so there we go. So I don't know your feelings around that. If you were, maybe there's something, tell you what resonates here, Peter, something about getting closure and being able to walk away. Maybe that was no longer fulfilling for you, Peter. I don't know that journey with regards to study. This is definitely the completion of your study with this binded stacks of paper, I believe. The eyes here, where to next? You know, you don't know where to work now. And the message with the Eight of Cups is about moving towards, the message being from Spirit, moving towards in the direction that is something that is emotionally fulfilling for you, Peter. So if you've got options, if you've got choices, maybe not just to fully go from, this is an opportunity to not just maybe do things from a place of the mind, of the right thing to do, the, you know, or the next step of what you think you should. I feel like it's to embrace more about going towards something that is emotionally fulfilling. It's certainly, when you say it can be about something, a new opportunity showing up, it's more about your power in the situation, or Peter, of you are in a transition, you are in a shift, and this is about your choice in where you go next. So rather than life just say happening to you, the Eight of Cups is about walking away from what doesn't emotionally fulfill you and walking towards what will fill your cup more. So opportunities, more than one, very much may well present themselves. You're certainly in a transition, yeah? Your studies has ended. Now we begin the new journey. And with it being cups, it needs to be emotionally led, not just what you think you should do. So bear that in mind, Peter, about your next move. What opportunities come towards you? You know, just because we get given an opportunity doesn't mean that we have to say yes to it. Doesn't mean that it might not be right for us. Even if it looks good, sounds good, if it doesn't feel right, if it feels wrong, it doesn't feel aligned with us, then maybe that's what we should listen to, okay? And I feel like that is a time for you, Peter, now. That is the energy that is going on for you. Do something kind of for you this time, rather than just what you think you should do. Three of Pentacles, though, just fell out. Work, collaboration there. So there is job opportunities are on their way to you. Align with what. Do something for yourself with this. Kind of desperate to leave home and start working, okay? So that can be part of the leaving what is, you know, being at home is not emotionally fulfilling. Three of Pentacles dropped out there, so that's about work and collaboration. Pentacles being about work, finances. So it will happen, but don't just... It's come up a few times this session. Don't just kind of jump. Like, make sure it's an opportunity that is good for you. Okay, Nat, this is for you. I'm just gonna go back to your question because I feel like you've posted it a few times. Energy around me and David when he contacts you. Like, what energy will he reach out with? Our King of Swords. I know you're getting your nails done, so might need to watch this back. Spirit, tell us the energy around when David will reach out. I'm glad that resonated up here. Ooh, nice. Oof. Reach out with good energy, strength, strong. Reminds me kind of a little bit of the Sun card, even this, just because it's got so much warmth in it, yeah? Courage. There's a shift here. This is a lot. This is more, it's Major Arcana as well. This is the sign of infinity that we see here as well, which is about longevity. This feels to be a more grounded energy than maybe what we've seen in the past. Maybe he's in a better place now as well, because I know in the past we've seen a lot of that being overwhelmed by work and kind of stressed energy and not really committed to, like, I do believe that it was genuinely that tricky for them to create space, create time for anything outside of work for them. But this seems a bit more of a grounded energy that he's coming through with here, this lion, you know, that has maybe a bit more of an understanding that there is change that needed to happen in him and in his life. Feels more open, feels more warm, and is in a place of courage more. Yeah, there's just like a certainty here and a strength, and also maybe like a stronger idea of what he wants, more solidified, yeah, more concrete about what he wants, and moving forward with that. There's more of a knowing here, backed up with this Apprentice of Pentacles, which is again more stable energy, more like really thinking about how maybe the practicalities of it, you know, the kind of nuts and bolts of the situation of making a relationship work. Can you see how good those energies are? The warmth and the flowers, which is like growth that is appearing in both. Yeah, it feels more realistic. Maybe in the past that he might have just hoped that things would fall into place. But now it's a bit more like, okay, I'm going to actually look closer at this about how we're going to make this happen. Yeah, just more serious, in a stronger position, clearer ideas, and more of a realistic approach, I think. And Six of Pentacles, just there, last one, that's about balance, reciprocity, more pentacles, more grounded energy, more earth. So that feels really good. Nat. It feels different. Okay. Devea and Lighthouse Dreamer, if you are both still here, please. Oh, Devea has posted a question, thank you. Lighthouse Dreamer has as well. Okay. Lighthouse Dreamer, current energy on Scott. No contact. Will he break silence? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Scott's energy, Lighthouse Dreamer. This is for you. Thanks, Tavea. I'll read for you after Lighthouse. I see your question. Thank you. You're welcome, Nat Nat. Will he break silence? I mean, I don't do yes, no, but we'll have a look at the energy surrounding that. Seven of Cups. Undecided. Scott's energy is undecided. This is often quite like a mixed up energy. What I always think when it comes through, Seven of Cups is like choices, options. Snake energy as well can be tricky, yeah. Not being straight with yourself, not being straight with others. They will come to a decision. Obviously, they will have to, they will need to. What brought this into no contact? I don't know if there were other options here, which could, I don't know if it's people, Lighthouse Dreamer, other options, or is it other opportunities, situations that somehow pulled that energy away from this connection. But it's a very indecisive energy, the Seven of Cups. So this tells me that Scott doesn't know the way forward, is not set on a certain decision or choice, is keeping his options open, okay? So it's not that this is off the table. It's not that you are a cup. No, it's not nice to feel like an option though, is it? To feel like a choice. But he needs to get straight with himself. Because this card as well is about buying into some kind of illusion. So he isn't being honest with himself, honest with those around him. It can also be about a bit like the grass is greener kind of energy. And what we really need to do is ground ourselves when we see this energy and bring a bit more realism, a bit more reality, a bit more truth into this situation, a bit more honesty. So I feel like if they haven't been honest with you, they're also just as equally not being honest with themselves. So if this is the kind of energy that brought you to this no contact, I still see them cycling around this energy. It's kind of like a card of delusion and illusion, this. So they're lost in some kind of illusion. Lighthouse, tell you what resonates with that, as in what that delusion is. Yeah. So this can change, it will change, but this is a current read and this is where they're still at. I feel like they're not being honest with themselves or those around them, and they need to get grounded. You can't obviously really help them with this. This is something, can be as well about maybe people that they're surrounding themselves with are supporting this delusion. So something needs to be cleared out. This energy doesn't feel great. They feel kind of lost in some ways. So they need to work this out before you are able to make any real change in this connection. They need to shift out of that Seven of Cups energy. Okay, Devea, this is for you, last but not least, my dear. Devea asks, I've started talking with G about developing a project. Awesome, but things are going very slow. Okay, what's the block and how to deal with it? Great question, Devea. Let's see. Straight to the point, what's the block? What's the block? What's the block? Major Arcana, the Magician. So the Magician is, the tools are all here, okay, between you both. This project, it's like the skill and the tools are all here. So it's like you have the ability, yeah, to make this happen. Now, the Magician is someone who can bring the idea, the vision, into the 3D, into the reality. I feel like that's what's telling us what's going on. How do we do that though? How do we bring that vision into the reality? Like, why is that not happening? Maybe it is happening. Maybe it just needs to happen slowly. Let's find out more. Magician's very positive. It's a major arcana as well, so a lot of good can come from this Devaya. Okay. Look at this, 10 of Cups. This is you too. Emotional fulfillment. This is like a celebration, yeah? This is like reaching the completion of when you succeed and manage to do this. And there'll be a lot of emotional fulfillment that will come from this project today. So I do see you being successful and bringing this to fruition. I don't see any red flags. I don't see any negativity as such. The only thing can be is the Magician about if there is the Magician. So if we think about bringing the vision into the 3D, it could only be an issue. The only block that I could feel that could possibly come through would be an issue of self-belief, as in that it's about our thought process and the mind, and about self-belief. Kind of really, do both of you know and understand that you have it all there in front of you, what you need to make this happen? It's actually just about the Magician, just what they're an expert at, okay, our Peter, is holding the vision. So if we think of manifesting as well, about that being, I talked to earlier about Janari to this, about mental discipline, about holding the belief, having the self-belief, not allowing self-doubt to creep in. Almost understanding what you have in your hands is a real opportunity here. And really the only issue, if there is one, is about self-belief and being able to hold the vision long enough. So just because it's happening slowly doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, or if that energy of what is slowing it down could be an issue about patience, about, or having a strong intention about, yeah, I just can hear, if anything, it's about self-belief. So does your partner, G, do they have an issue around self-belief? Maybe they don't quite realize that it's all here ready to go. But ultimately, I do see you achieving this and succeeding, because this 10 of Cups, you will navigate this, Devaya, okay? I feel like you will reach that goal, because 10 of Cups is completion, emotional fulfillment, joy, happiness. This is both of you there having some kind of celebration here, yeah? Keep believing in this project. Keep holding that vision. Don't falter on that. I would say don't give up. Don't give in to fears or self-doubts or worries. Even in your partner, Devaya, okay? So even in G. keep manifesting that vision that you will, this is where you'll be, you know, if this is what you want, this can happen. I hope that resonated. Okay guys, I'm going to end the live there. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for your booked readings, for your questions, for the free readings. Thank you all for being here, for liking and joining. I hope the readings helped. Please drop a comment once I end this live. It's always great to get feedback. Let me know any notes, updates, and I will be back on Wednesday with the new Love Oracle Weekly special. So I hope that you all can make it there. You can go ahead and book your spot now on that live if you want to. Just guarantee and book your spot. But wishing you all love and light. You're very welcome, Devea. It does sound good. Keep us posted. But wishing you all love and light, guys. Thank you so much. Take care.